One of the prominent themes in this second week of Advent can be found in Sunday's reading from the prophet Isaiah, in which God instructs Isaiah to speak to his people tenderly, to give them comfort, words of comfort. And throughout this week, every day, one or both readings do precisely that. Yesterday, the beautiful passage from Matthew, the words of comfort came from Jesus, in which he said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and find life burdensome, and I will give you rest." Every time I hear that passage, I sigh with relief. The rest comes already when I hear Jesus offering this wonderful promise. In today's reading, Isaiah has words. And again, it's a comforting message. He says, "Fear not, I will help you. Fear not, I will help you." If only we could hear these words and receive this comfort today. Because fear takes away so much from us. It isolates us. We can see and experience fear, and it makes our lives distorted. It's very debilitating, and we all know that. When we are afraid, we are often in a very defensive, protective mode. Fear can have its way with us, and once it takes control of our lives, which it often does for many people, then we are in occupied territory. Too often, our fear is real. We've been hurt, and as a consequence, we're afraid of being hurt again. We might be on the edge of losing our job or our livelihood or our security. Someone we love may be very sick or even dying. The outcome is not very clear at this point. We may have had health problems ourselves, and members of our family, which happens so often, may not be getting along or maybe not making wise choices. A marriage might be on the threshold of ending. The worst part about fear is that it can distort us. We're not our best selves, when we're afraid. Sometimes there are people that live with anger and resentment, and we're tired because this anger and resentment festers in us, and it's like carrying a burden, a heavy burden, which at times is difficult to bear. And what is missing when anger and resentment controls our lives is we start failing to see the goodness around us and trust it. It's often not even in our grasp to enjoy and, to delight in small things. We can find ourselves coming to a point where we're no longer open to being touched by what is beautiful or promising or loving. And therefore, it's not easy to hear good news and to be caught up in the symbol and the signs, and most importantly, the comfort that continues to be offered to us during this Advent season. Sometimes we just hide our fears. Maybe you've heard this line before, but it's true. The best defense is a good offense. Dogs bark when they're afraid, and we just might do the same. If I'm aggressive enough, we say, then people won't hurt me. And this might seem to be a good approach to protecting ourselves. So we have all these different ways of coping with our challenges when fear arises. And they can become a pattern in our life. And even if you recognize the fact that fear is there, it's not easy to change the behavior that we've become so accustomed to. So today, I'd just like you to stop, if you have time today, and to simply acknowledge your fear. To say, Lord, you know how afraid I am. Please help me to surrender, at least today, to step out of my fear. Let me trust in your words that you will help me, that you want to comfort me. I'm a little afraid to take that risk, but it must be your word that's warming my heart today, and I realize how much you care for me. You know, this Advent season, it's such an important time to allow our relationship with Jesus to grow, to be attracted to him, to be drawn to him, to be appreciative of him, to thank him, and to begin to be caught up just for a season in his ways, his courage, his way of loving. You know, his coming into our messy history, into our broken world, into our lives in a simple stable should give us hope. And Isaiah's promise today can come alive for us. Fear not, I will help you.